Hi everyone, it's Chris with Pull the Trigger Auto Financing coming to you with some important information I feel you deserve to know. Now, currently, regarding the automotive industry, it's chaotic. That would be the word for it. It is totally chaotic. In the over 10 years that I've had experience in automotive sales as well as RV sales, I have never, ever seen this. I've never thought of this. Now, currently, there are companies in the US that are being created to find people dealerships that offer MSRP or lower or discounts. Now, that is not a good business model. In Alberta, for example, I know that there are dealerships out there that will understate their pricing just to secure a deal from another dealership. They'll get you to drive that, 2, 3, 4, 500 kilometers for a really, really, really amazing deal. Some people even go as far as going to different provinces because they're promised a better deal. Now, granted, sometimes it works. Granted, a lot more times it doesn't. It all depends on the individual and just how easy of a push they are for it. Now, the dealerships that I've worked for, when you agree on the price, that is the price. And when you come to me, that's the price. Now, the only way the price changes is if you add product or if you add services or if you add absolutely anything or switch the vehicle. Maybe you see that there's a nicer vehicle on the lot that you want. Great. We'll make that price work. We won't be able to upgrade you for free, but we'll definitely put our best foot forward. Now, there's these companies in the US that are calling up different dealerships and they are promoting which dealers are selling us at MSRP and which different companies are offering which offerings for when you are looking at purchasing. Now, granted, the shortage of inventory across the board is not the dealer's fault, it is the manufacturer's fault. So basically, right now, there are dealers that are offering vehicles, up to $10,000 to $15,000 above MSRP, and these aren't even special vehicles. There are talks that many Chevrolet dealers are offering $90,000 over MSRP with a $6,000 non-refundable deposit. So, if you don't like the price, you don't like the price, and tough on you, right? They're trying to make their money. Now, a lot of these US dealers are adding in optional packages that were previously optional, but apparently they're not. I have right here from a website that they artificially deflate the retail price while keeping the auctions high. The dealers, basically sales consultants, aren't allowed to disclose pricing because that's the manager's job. Now, it's the manager's job to hold as much gross for the car as possible. That's how people stay in business. I don't know about you, but I don't like working for free. I have a roof to pay over my head. I have a dog that, requires maintenance. Vets aren't cheap. Everyone needs to make money when they work. And at the end of the day, it needs to be made fairly. And many of these dealers in the US aren't going about fair practices. Many of the dealers in Canada aren't going about fair practices. The amount of inventory is dwindling all the way across the board. And the used car market has never been hotter. Now, what I'm believing is that with the rise of costs of the used car market, as well as the inflated rates that they're offering, they're trying to deter people from buying used cars while the dealers are taking on that incentive, thereby not having new cars coming in, and very few and far between and limited supply of new cars is basically going into the forced electric. It is my belief that all the car manufacturers are holding out with their inventory and with their supply, not because of a chip shortage, but because of the demands that are made by the governments for zero emission vehicles. Electricity isn't clean energy. It's not. Wind, Wind, that's clear. That's clean energy. Solar panels. Yeah. The sun providing it is great energy, but the material it takes to make that solar panel is not. Um, I myself, I believe that the crudeness of the diesel fuel is the best that we're going to get. Now, here in Canada, we have enough trees to absorb the emissions from vehicles, so we don't have that pollution problem like they do in the U.S. So we have a lot of trees; they suck in a lot of the bad air, and they turn it into clean air. Now, the U.S. doesn't have that; they have smog, so they think that electric cars are the future. Well, guess what? The electric car has been around since the 1800s. Ever since there was the first electric motor. They put it in a buggy, and they were called horseless carriages. And they've had engines that ran off steam. Steam power's pretty feasible. Back then. Nowadays, I don't think that a steam powered car is going to get up to 100, 110, 120 kilometers an hour. I don't think that's ever going to happen out of a steam engine. But if it does, hey, I'm all for it. Sign me up. As long as it's not $1 million, I'll take on that payment plan. But the thing is that the gas and oil industries, no matter what, you're going to be using something that involves gas, something that involves oil. The manufacturing of tires, the components, everything just takes up our Earth's natural resources. And quite frankly, the only way to go absolutely green is go back to the horse and buggy. It's, go back to the wooden wheel. Have like greaseless bearings. Everything is going to need natural resources, and anyone who thinks otherwise, I don't know. Our textiles require certain chemicals. I don't know. I don't build clothes. I sell cars. And, as long as there's always a need for transportation, there's going to be a need for gas and oil. That's my mind. Now, having been a diesel owner for quite some time and seeing just how fuel efficient the diesel vehicles are and the rudimentary of the manufacturing of diesel fuel, it seems to me that diesel is a lot better for the environment, even though it puts out more pollutants because it is dirty. If we were to add in more particulate filter, or if we were to, basically put restrictors, I think that might help, coming from a mechanical standpoint. Now, these forced, electric cars, the government's thinking of, and the reason why I'm on this rant right now, in regards to the prices of new cars, basically, it's outrageous. There's certain car companies that are getting rights to mine. Well, guess what? Those ancient machines that are mining the materials for your electric car, not good. Not good for the environment. The price of batteries, not good. What do they do when the cars are decommissioned? I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of wrecked electric vehicles, and they're just sitting there. They're harder to dispose of. There's not going to be anything good for the environment, and there's not going to be anything good for the automotive industry. With the whole pollution and everything that's going on, as individuals, we have to make that choice. And, it really does suck that everyone thinks that the environment is, going to be better for these reasons. I've actually had to cut down my power usage on really hot days just because there's such a demand on the grid. Now, if everyone had an electric car, would power grids really be able to take it? I don't think so. So until next time, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of advice that I've learned from watching other YouTube channels and other people on TikTok. Always do what you think is right. If you think it's right and you can sleep at night, then is it really wrong? That's my word for today. Take care. Be safe.